Cool. So the last video is the Miscellaneous Programs video for the 10th grade. So this folder has a lot of materials because there are a good amount of somewhat, not random per se, but programs that don't fall under any like department workshop, or like, they don't explicitly fall under college readiness or 21st century skills. But a lot of this, does kind of overlap. So the first folder is the career panel, and I believe that one just has a note-taking sheet. The career panel is really fun. In the 10th grade, it's sort of like a mystery format, and the students have to go around to the different professionals and ask them questions in order to figure out what job they have. And I think, so like I said, that one just has a note-taking sheet, and Amanda will help you like contact different departments beforehand and find the panelists, and then it's just up to you to like follow up and make sure everyone kind of understands how the day's gonna go. And that's kind of how all programs go. You kind of do the follow-up a week before and then check in a couple days just to remind them, since they obviously have like really busy schedules. Then the first program folder for the 10th grade, I kind of did a lot of planning for that, since it was my first time doing anything like this. So I did a lot of planning, and I came up with some team building activities, and group norm setting, that sort of thing. And so the lesson plan is in there, as well as other materials that I used. And it could be helpful for you in terms of planning what you want to do on your first program day. And then finally, or no, not finally actually, the third is the job shadow folder, and that's really important. So for the 10th grade, they have 3 job shadows, which is kind of a lot. They do the most out of all the cohorts. And the way job shadows work is we put out an ask, usually a broadcast, and we target specific departments that have volunteers that help us. We find volunteers, and we do that months before, maybe like 3 to 4 months, and well, actually maybe not. We do it well in advance, and then as we get closer to the date of the job shadow, we match the students. So depending on how many hosts we have and their and the students' interests, we try to pair 1 to 2, sometimes 3 students with hosts, and everything just depends on the numbers, and Caroline and Lorianne will help you figure this out. And then on the day of, you just send a bunch of reminders to the students to make sure they come on time. You tell the host to pick them up at 4, they pick them up. It's kind of a mess. It's like very chaotic, hosts coming, finding students, and all that stuff. And in the folder are the matches from previous years, I believe, for the 10th grade, or in the previous job shadows, I should say. So what the 10th graders have done. So you don't have, you might have some repeat volunteers or repeat professions. So to like limit repetition for the students, I've included the hosts that they've had. It's really a big like afternoon for them, since they love job shadows. You might feel some pressure to match students with like doctors and nurses, because a lot of them want to shadow those people, but just encourage them to keep an open mind. That's really important. And then finally, the medical humanities folder. So in the 10th grade in November, I did a program, and I called it Medical Humanities. And it really just had to do, it came from sort of my background and interest in art. So in college, I studied art history and biology, and I've always just been interested in humanism in medicine. And so my way of kind of giving the scholars a taste of that was doing this program called Medical Humanities, in which I had them think about like what illness looks like, and how it's not just the absence or presence of disease, and sort of like got them to think about what does health mean. And so from there we were able to have a discussion about like empathy, and there's more to a person than their disease, and kind of threads like that. And then finally we talked about like ethics, and how this kind of all culminated in a discussion about how it's important to consider situations from multiple points of view. And, that's where empathy comes in, in whatever health profession you're in. So I probably did a terrible job explaining that right now. But, so I made a PowerPoint for it, and I made an agenda, and all of that's in the medical humanities folder. And obviously you don't have to, redo this program if you don't want to, but I included the materials just in case you want to use it as a jumping off point for anything you kind of want to like freestyle with. So yeah, there's a lot of material in this, but hopefully it's useful, and as usual, the team is a great resource for any other questions that you have. Okay, cool.